Hey, it's me, Bobby33, and finally, I'm at the last game of this RareWare Retrospective series, and this game is a cult classic known as Conker Bad Fur, known for its crude humor and backstory. Does this N64 classic age well, or was it just a product of its time? Let's find out. The backstory itself could be its own video, so I'm going to give you the short version of it. Sorry if I'm missing a few details here and there. Conker 64 started production in 1996, early 1997, and it was a 3D platformer much like Mario 64. Plans were going well so far. Rare put Conker on Diddy Kong Racing to promote the game, and there was even a Conker game on the Game Boy Color in summer of 1999. So what changed the direction from a cute kitty game to an animated game? Well, pretty much Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. Even though Rare made early games in different genres, journalists called Conker 64 another kitty platformer by Rare, which I imagine angered the Conker team because Conker was in development long before Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. That's of course ignoring Project Dream's original idea. Chris Seaver came up with the idea to make the game more crude and humorous and more mature. Thus, Conker Bad Fur was born. Advertising for the game was strange. It had some support from Nintendo, and at the same time it didn't. At E3, they made a bar for Conker Bad Fur, even handing out some beer and condoms. And they even had an article on Playboy magazine, but when it came to the actual review, they ignored it and they didn't even publish a game. Rare did a publishing, except for in the UK, I believe, that was by THQ. But anyways, that's it for the backstory. On to the actual game. There are two storylines in this game. The main story is Conker hanging out with his friends at a bar and got drunk. He tried going home, but got lost along the way. Conker found himself doing odd jobs for strangers for money, which gets him into crazy situations. The second story is the Panther King needs to fix his table, and the only thing, apparently, that can fix this table is getting a red squirrel, aka Conker, to replace the leg. Meanwhile, the professor is planning an attack and wants revenge on the Panther King. The two stories does come together, but only at the very end. The only part of the story you should care about is the comedy. At first I thought the humor would age because of all the movie references it makes, but I still find it funny, and the interaction between the characters are very hilarious. I think even newer players will enjoy it, even if they don't get the reference itself. Now for the record, this is the first time I'm playing through this game, but I have seen Let's Plays of it, so keep that in mind. One thing I was worried about playing this game is how much did it age, because N64 games has a tendency of not aging well. The answer is not very much, surprisingly. Sure, the camera didn't age well, as most N64 games, but the only problem I have with the camera is in small areas or when the camera is locked. Also when shooting, you don't have a target reticle, but it took a little time to get used to, and I was able to complete the mission with little to no problem. Conker Bad Fur play like most platformers, but the one thing that separates it from the rest of the games is the context sensitive button. This pad can give Conker what he needs at that exact situation. This help adds some variety to the game, from controlling a bow to using a shotgun. You can also gain temporary abilities like turning into a bat or riding a bull. Most of the new abilities are easy to control, while others take some time to get used to, like the controlling a bull or peeing at your enemies. Yeah, that is an actual thing. Overall, I had fun with the variety of gameplay they had to offer. The levels in this game are unique, and each one of them has a memorable moment, like rolling a ball of poop along a mountain, peeing on some rock people in a nightclub, and leading a dinosaur to its death. There's so much thing to talk about. I don't want to spoil all of it, even though you probably know, all of them by now. But still, it's something you have to experience. Trust me. And that's not counting the boss battles, which I'll get to later. Trust me. The voice acting consists of about 3 to 5 people, and you can definitely notice. This is to save money on production. Like I said earlier, this game was in production for a long time, and even with all the changes, the game is still huge for voice actor cutscenes, which was pretty rare for the N64 game, no pun intended. Plus, it didn't need an expansion pack. I am very impressed how Rare managed to put all that content in that little space, so bravo to them. Of course, you can't talk about Conker Bad Fur without talking about the boss battles. These fights are fun and humorous as well. You have a fight with a giant poo monster, which I'm sure you're expecting to hear, the singing, but unfortunately I have a fear of YouTube copyright strikes, so I apologize in advance. Maybe I could do a let's play in the future. Who knows? You also have a fight with a warrior with some brass bars, biting a caveman's butt, and a whole lot more. Most of the battles are pretty easy. A lot of them are, they do the sending over and over again without, changing their attacks. They're pretty short as well, but I still had a lot of fun with them, and they're very memorable. The first half of the game was easy and quite relaxing, but the second half cranked up the difficulty and made me furious at times, like the surfing novice stage. The controlling is fine, but one simple mistake can cost you your life. I swear I lost like about 30 lives just trying to complete that, and I still got a game over. If you hit the wall, you die. Landing on the lava and probably you die. And that stupid dinosaur that walks by. Sometimes you can get through it with no problem. Get through the legs. At best, you can nudge it a bit and still survive. But at other times, I swear it's impossible to dodge. You just gotta be at the right place at the right time. There are also some other parts of the game, like the finding the 3 keys at the Haunted Mansion, and the whole army level in general. Killing all the teddies, dodging the red laser, getting that machine gun, controlling the tank. Oh boy, that is annoying. And if I had to pick a worst one, it would be the lava stage in general, mainly because I feel like it can be unfair at times. Good thing there are checkpoints, that are very generous. If you use all your life and continue, 9 times out of 10, you're back right where you left off. Even if you turn off the game and go back to it because you get too frustrated in one part, most likely you're going to end up at the exact part you just left off, so thank goodness for that.
Babe! Where are those big babes? Huh? Paradise.
For being the last N64 title that Rare produced, they ran off with a bang. Now keep in mind this is the first time I ever played this game, and I didn't have any real nostalgia feeling to it, but I had a lot of fun with it from beginning to end. Sure, I got frustrated at times like I mentioned at the second half of the game, but it's a kind of frustration that I want to come back again and again so I can complete the game and see what happened next, even though I know what's going to happen next through playthroughs. In other words, Conker Bad Fur needs to be played by everybody, and I fully recommend it. Conker Bad Fur has a lifetime sales of 770,000 units, which doesn't sound too bad on paper, but considering the sales were low for the first couple of weeks, they recorded about 55,000 at best, and considering the long production, the game was not very profitable. Despite the low sales, the game is still fondly remembered by fans and it remains a cult classic. The franchise tried to expand, but with no success. At first they tried to make a sequel called Conker's Bad Fur, but during that time they were owned by Microsoft and they turned that idea down. Then they remade the Conker's Bad Fur called Conker's Live and Reloaded, which also didn't sell well on the original Xbox. Rare had other plans for a spin-off game called Conker Getting Medieval, but that was also cancelled. There was a HoloLens prototype called Long Conker, which looks very terrible and nobody liked it pretty much. Finally, Conker returned in Project Spark called Conker's Big Reunion. Originally, it was going to be an episodic adventure, but it was later on cancelled. So until then, no word from Conker. Well, I finally did it. I made it through this whole RareWare Retrospective, and even though this is the last game I'm reviewing for this retrospective, there is one more video I want to make, and it's about a what if scenario pretty much. So stay tuned for that. This is me, Power 33, and I catch you guys later. See ya.